The poetic diction of Wordsworth. It has been generally supposed that Wordsworth's theory of poetic language is merely a reaction against the pseudo-classical theory of poetic diction. But such a view is partially true. His first impulse was less a revolt against pseudo-classical diction than a desire to find a suitable language for the new territory of human life in which he was conquering for poetic treatment. His aim was to deal in his poetry with rustic and humble life and to advocate simplicity of theme. Moreover, Ney believed that the poet is essentially human, speaking to men, and so he must use such a language as is used by men. The pseudo-classical advocated that the language of poetry is different from the language of prose, while Wordsworth believes that there is no essential difference between them. The poet can communicate best in the language which is really used by men. He condemns the artificial language. Thus William Wordsworth prefers the language really used by common men. Wordsworth's purpose, as he tells in the preface, was to choose incidents and situations from common life, and quite naturally, he also intended to use a selection of language really used by men. He was to deal with humble and rustic life, and so he should also use the language of the rustics, farmers, shepherds who were to be the subjects of his poetry. The language of these men was to be used, but it was to be purified of all that is painful or disgusting, vulgar and coarse in that language. He was to use the language of real men because the aim of a poet is to give pleasure, and such language without selection will cause disgust. The use of such a simple language has a number of advantages. The rustic language in its simplicity is highly emotional and passionate. This is more so the case when these humble people are in a state of emotional excitement. It is charged with the emotions of the human heart. Such a language is the natural language of the passions. It comes from the heart, and thus goes direct to the heart. In other words, through the use of such a language, essential truths about human life and nature can be more easily and clearly communicated. It is more philosophical language inasmuch as its use can result in a better and clearer understanding of the basic truths. But in city life, emotions are not openly expressed. Wordsworth was going to write about simple life, so he writes in simple language, and for this he adds meter. In his opinion, the language of poetry must not be separated from the language of men in real life. Figures, metaphors and similes and other such decorations must not be used unnecessarily. In a state of emotional excitement, men naturally use a metaphorical language to express themselves forcefully. The earliest poets used only such metaphors and images as result naturally from powerful emotions. Later on, poets used a figurative language which was not the result of genuine passion. They merely imitated the manner of the earlier poets, and thus arose the artificial language and diction of pseudo-classics. A stereotyped and mechanical phraseology thus became current. The poet must avoid the use of such artificial diction both when he speaks in his own person or through his characters. Wordsworth's theory of poetic diction is of immense value when considered as a corrective to the artificial inray and unnatural phraseology current at the time. But considered in itself, it is full of a number of contradictions and suffers from a number of imitations. For one thing, Wordsworth does not state what he means by language. Language is a matter of words, as well as of arrangement of those words. It is the matter of the use of imagery, frequency of its use, and its nature. Wordsworth does not clarify what he exactly means by language.